My video for October the 3rd, 2019 is video number 3226. The title is Trump's Alliances Triggers Red Flag. Once again, I prepare a video ahead of the one I planned 2 days ago. It can wait. I watched a PBS documentary in which I became more aware of Trump's alliance with Saudi Arabia. Of course, I have been leery of the Israel connection since he took office as POTUS. Israel wants to take over much of the Mideast before Shiloh returns. Yes, that's the prophesied Messiah. What I was not aware of was another of his alliances that should alert us if we expect peace. Once again, Iran is the boogeyman of the deep state, which comprises players on both sides of the political aisle in the U.S. corporation. What will it take to wake people up? Who is able to bring the required corrective action needed to restore human rights worldwide? While the Donald does seem to have the support of brainwashed Christians that have been misled for a long time, these alliances should be alarming. The Saudi leader is a cruel dictator and mass murderer. These things bring much sadness to my heart. Ooh. Yeah, and I had planned a video for today, actually for yesterday, and it's going on hold. It's going to go on hold yet another day because as I'm recording this, I already have an idea, that topic for the next one, and they keep coming in, all of these new ideas. But I've long been concerned about the money masters and Trump's affiliation with them. Now, the money masters to me are international bankers, and they are beyond any political party, beyond any national border, and beyond any natural law or common law, because they operate a criminal operation. It has been a criminal operation from the get-go. Way back, it became a criminal operation. Money was a means of enslaving. But at least when it had asset backing, you could expect that, well, or at least there's gold or silver or something of value, intrinsic value backing it. Since they went to fiat currencies, there is nothing backing our money. And Saudi Arabia, I mean, they had a change of leadership, and I've seen things about how much better it's going to be in Saudi Arabia now that the old ruler is gone and they have this new guy in there. But with the PBS documentary, I realized that the new guy is, he has arrested a lot of the intellectuals, tortured them, tries to get them to change their story, some of whom have refused, and killed one of the ones that was in England. And when he went to Turkey, he was in Istanbul. He was murdered, and the people that did the murdering were insiders in the Saudi government. So I don't understand why this great tribulation that to me has been going on and on and on, not just in our lifetime, but for a long time. And the only thing different is in our lifetime, we now know about it more easily because of the internet and the mass media that allows us to access information that before this modern generation, took a lot longer to get the information. And even then, it was not so widespread and easily available. and people just didn't know what they didn't know. And that's always been the case. None of us know what we don't know. And that's why I encourage people to break out of the boxes that have been created for us to think in and try to get beyond the mass mind control that is diabolical. Common law allows us to have natural rights based on the law of the land, but we're not operating under the law of the land, and the dictators of countries don't operate under any law. The United States at least has a foundation of law that, with the Bill of Rights, guarantees individual rights and sovereignty. But of course, they've been avoiding that and ignoring that for a long time, and they being the criminals that run the mind control system and the money enslavement system. Folks, we need desperately not only to wake up individually, but to be empowered so that we can actually affect positive changes and stand against these charlatans that have enslaved an entire planet for their own merciless tyranny and intentions. They do not have the intention, including Donald Trump, of doing things good. Now, Donald Trump is, or at least is putting forth the appearance of being a patriot. He needed to do that in order to win the election. So there's two factions apparently fighting each other in the United States, but I'm sure that's not the only place that this is going on. But it would be good if one of them was a faction of light against dark. And I'm not talking about light and dark as in day and night. I'm talking about good and evil. And people need to realize that there is an alliance that is has a dark agenda. And that dark agenda is to enslave humanity and actually to eliminate most of the world's population and bring it down to a more manageable number, where only the slaves and the rulers will survive. All the ordinary people, and especially intellectuals that think outside the box, are eliminated. They don't want smart people to be able to get the word out. And in some places in the world, like Saudi Arabia, that has been effectively implemented, and murder has gone. I mean, they even go into foreign nations with their insiders to commit murder. And that was brought out in the PBS documentary that I thought was very well done. I was actually surprised that that's even available on television, but there it was, and I watched it for, I guess, a couple of hours. I don't remember the exact time because I didn't start it at the beginning. I just happened to be clicking through channels, and it caught something that was being said, caught my attention. Anyway, folks, there's a whole lot of waking up that needs to happen before we can have peace on earth. Will that happen in my lifetime? Will it happen in any of our lifetimes? Hopefully it will, but with what's happened in Saudi Arabia and is happening in other parts of the world, I'm not so sure. The United States and the world monetary system is defunct. It's bankrupt. And that's just fiction, but it's the reality that we're being sold and told. And they want to make money. They want to actually start charging a negative interest rate where they can take monetary assets away from people, which is absolutely insane. But this is something that's on the drawing board for some of these elite beings that are demonically possessed. I wish I didn't have to talk like this. I want so much to believe in something positive, but I keep looking at the negative stuff that's happening all around us. Thank you, folks, for listening, and namaste.